Jamaica, a land pulsing with life, sun-drenched beaches kissed by turquoise waves, emerald hills echoing with reggae rhythms. This island was a tapestry woven from vibrant colors, intoxicating scents, and the infectious laughter of its people. And in the heart of this paradise lived Maya. But Maya was no ordinary woman. She was a whisper of magic, a secret held close by the island breeze. For Maya held within her a gift extraordinary and daunting. She was a shapeshifter, able to mold her form as easily as clay. One moment she could be a hummingbird, sipping nectar from hibiscus flowers. The next, a sleek panther, melting into the shadows of the rainforest. Every sunrise brought Maya a unique dilemma. Who would she be today? The possibilities stretched before her, endless and tempting. Would she soar through the heavens as a hawk or dance in the marketplace as a young girl with laughter like wind chimes? Each choice carried a weight, a responsibility. For every face she wore, every life she touched added a new layer to the intricate mosaic of her existence, and with each transformation a question whispered in her soul. Who was the true Maya? Was she the sum of all these borrowed forms, or was there a core essence, a singular self, hidden beneath the surface? This question haunted her, a constant companion in her ever-shifting world, yet one thing remained constant. A deep-seated longing in Maya's heart, a yearning for connection, for understanding, a desire to find a place where she could simply be, without pretense or transformation, a place to belong. The morning sun painted the sky in hues of coral and gold as Maya stretched, her limbs fluid, her body a canvas ready for its daily masterpiece. Today she felt drawn to the sky, to the boundless freedom of flight. With a thought she was a hummingbird, her wings a blur as she launched herself into the azure expanse. Below her, the world became a miniature wonderland. Emerald hills rolled down to meet the sapphire sea. Tiny houses, like brightly colored dice, were scattered across the landscape. The air thrummed with the pulse of life, a symphony of sound only a hummingbird's keen ears could decipher. But even in the exhilaration of flight, a shadow lingered, the challenge of perspective. As a hummingbird, Maya experienced the world in a flurry of fleeting moments. The grand tapestry of life, woven from countless threads of joy and sorrow, was reduced to a kaleidoscope of colors and scents. Landing softly on the gnarled branch of a mango tree, Maya allowed her form to shift once more. This time she chose the guise of an old woman, her skin like wrinkled parchment, her eyes pools of ancient wisdom. As she walked, each step was slow, deliberate, a testament to the weight of years she now carried. Children, their laughter echoing through the streets, stopped to greet her with respect, their elders pausing to share stories and seek her counsel. Maya listened patiently, her heart heavy with the bittersweet beauty of their lives. She felt the pulse of the community, the interconnectedness of their joys and sorrows. Yet with each story, each shared confidence, Maya felt a pang of guilt, for she was privy to their secrets, their vulnerabilities, while remaining hidden behind a mask of her own making. Their trust, so freely given, felt like a betrayal of her own deceptive nature. As dusk painted the sky in shades of lavender and violet, Maya sought solace in the embrace of the rainforest. Shedding the weight of ages, she became a panther, her sleek black coat blending seamlessly with the shadows. Here beneath the emerald canopy, she could shed the burden of human emotions, of moral dilemmas. The jungle welcomed her with open arms. The scent of damp earth and exotic blooms filled her senses. She moved with a primal grace, her muscles rippling with power as she stalked through the undergrowth. The thrill of the hunt, the raw instinct for survival pulsed through her veins, but even in this primal state, Maya couldn't escape the echoes of her human heart. As she watched a young antelope graze peacefully in a sun-dappled clearing, a flicker of compassion stayed her predatory instincts. She was both hunter and protector, a duality that mirrored the constant struggle within her soul. The moon hung heavy in the night sky, casting long silvery fingers through the trees as Maya returned to her human form. She stood at the edge of a secluded beach, the gentle waves whispering secrets to the shore. A profound loneliness washed over her, a longing for connection that transcended the physical realm. She had danced through 1,000 lives, experienced the world through countless eyes, yet she felt adrift in a sea of fleeting moments, never truly belonging, never truly known. The faces she wore were but masks, hiding the true Maya from a world she both craved and feared. As the first rays of dawn kissed the horizon, Maya made a decision. She would seek out others who shared her gift. Perhaps among her own kind, she could find the answers that eluded her. Perhaps together, they could navigate the treacherous waters of their dual existence. And maybe, just maybe, she could finally find a place to call home. The Kingston market pulsed with life, a kaleidoscope of colours, sounds and scents. Sunlight glinted off piles of mangoes, their sweetness mingling with the salty tang of the nearby harbour. Vendors called out their wares, their voices a rhythmic counterpoint to the steady thrum of reggae music drifting from a nearby stall. Maya, her form settling into that of a wizened old woman, strolled through the bustling aisles. Her bones ached with the weight of imagined years, her steps slow and deliberate, but her eyes, sharp and bright beneath her headscarf, missed nothing. She inhaled the vibrant chaos, her senses alight with the energy of the marketplace. She paused by a stall piled high with woven baskets, her fingers tracing the intricate patterns. The vendor, a young man with weary eyes, struggled to arrange his wares, his movements heavy with fatigue. Maya, her heart touched by his plight, offered a warm smile. "May I, child?" she asked, her voice a raspy whisper. "These old hands still remember the rhythm of weaving." The young man, startled by her offer, looked up, his face etched with surprise. He hesitated, then nodded, a flicker of gratitude crossing his features. As Maya's gnarled fingers worked, her movements swift and sure despite her assumed age, a sense of camaraderie settled over the stall. Passers-by, drawn by the old woman's unexpected skill, stopped to admire her handiwork and exchange stories. Laughter filled the air, momentarily chasing away the anxieties of the day. But beneath the surface of merriment, Maya sensed an undercurrent of unease. Whispers snaked through the crowd. Hushed conversations abruptly silenced when her gaze swept past. She caught snippets of words: danger, plot, darkness. A chill ran down her spine, prickling her skin like 1,000 tiny needles. With a sinking heart, Maya realized that this was no ordinary day in the market. Something sinister lurked beneath the surface, a threat hidden in plain sight. She had to act, but how could an old woman, frail and seemingly harmless, hope to combat a danger she didn't yet understand? As if in answer to her unspoken question, a surge of power coursed through her veins. Her frail form, no longer a constraint, became a conduit for transformation. Bones shifted, muscles coiled, and within the blink of an eye the old woman vanished, replaced by a figure of formidable strength and grace. Maya stood tall, a warrior clad in supple leather armor, her gaze sharp and unwavering. She moved with a confidence born of countless battles fought and won, her hand instinctively reaching for the sword strapped to her hip. The crowd, sensing the shift in power, parted before her, their whispers now tinged with fear and awe. "What troubles you, my people?" Maya's voice, no longer a raspy whisper, rang out, commanding attention. "Speak freely, and fear not. I am here to protect this market, this city, from any who would seek to do it harm." Her words, imbued with the power of her transformation, hung in the air, a challenge and a promise. A hush fell over the marketplace, the vibrant energy replaced by a tense anticipation. All eyes were on Maya, their gazes filled with a mixture of hope and trepidation. She knew that her next move would be crucial, that the fate of the market and perhaps the entire city rested on her shoulders. As the silence stretched, heavy and oppressive, a lone figure emerged from the crowd. An old woman, her face etched with worry, approached Maya cautiously, her eyes pleading for understanding. She leaned in close, her voice a trembling whisper, and revealed the dark secret that had cast a shadow over the joyous atmosphere of the marketplace. The weight of the knowledge settled on Maya's shoulders, heavy and cold, fueling her determination to protect the innocent and bring the guilty to justice. The air hung heavy with unspoken words as Maya, still clad in her warrior's guise, retreated from the bustling marketplace. The setting sun painted the sky in fiery hues, a stark contrast to the turmoil brewing within her. The old woman's whispered revelations echoed in her ears, a chilling tale of betrayal and greed. She found herself drawn to the relative tranquility of the waterfront, the rhythmic crash of waves against the harbour wall, a soothing counterpoint to the chaos she carried within. The scent of salt air and fish filled her nostrils, grounding her in the present moment. It was then that she saw him, a solitary figure silhouetted against the dying light. He sat at the end of a weathered pier, his gaze fixed on the distant horizon. Even from a distance, Maya felt an inexplicable pull towards him, a sense of recognition that transcended the physical realm. As she drew closer, his features sharpened into focus. Raphael. She knew his name as if it were a song etched upon her soul. His face, weathered by time and experience, held a quiet strength that resonated deep within her. His eyes, when they met hers, seemed to see beyond the warrior facade, piercing through to the essence of who she truly was. He didn't seem surprised by her appearance, by the sword at her hip or the fierce determination etched upon her face. It was as if he had been expecting her, as if he had always known the secret she guarded so closely. "Raphael, you carry a heavy burden, Maya," Raphael said, his voice a low rumble that seemed to echo the rhythm of the sea. He didn't ask how she knew his name or why she sought him out. He simply offered her a space to be, to shed the weight of her many masks. And shed them she did. With Raphael, Maya found a sanctuary, a space where she could be her true self, without pretense or fear of judgment. She spoke of her shape-shifting ability, the constant struggle to reconcile her many forms with the elusive truth of her own identity. Raphael listened with a patience that disarmed her. He didn't offer platitudes or easy answers. Instead, he shared stories of his own, tales of ancient magic and the interconnectedness of all living things. He spoke of the power of empathy, the importance of embracing all aspects of oneself, even the shadows that lurk within. With each shared story, each moment of vulnerability, a tapestry of trust began to weave itself between them. For the first time, Maya felt truly seen, truly understood. In Raphael's presence, her shape-shifting ability wasn't a curse nor a burden, but a thread in the rich tapestry of her being. As the moon replaced the sun, casting a silvery glow upon the water, Maya realized that her encounter with Raphael was no accident. He was a kindred spirit, a beacon in the darkness, guiding her towards a deeper understanding of herself and her place in the world. She had spent so long trying to define herself, to find her place within the confines of a single form. Raphael helped her to see that her true self wasn't bound by any one shape, but rather existed in the spaces between, in the constant dance between worlds. With a newfound sense of purpose, Maya bid farewell to Raphael, her heart brimming with gratitude. She knew that their paths would cross again, that their connection ran deeper than the passage of time or the boundaries of form. For now she carried his wisdom within her, a guiding light in the uncertain journey ahead. She was Maya, the shapeshifter, and she was finally starting to understand the melody of her own existence. The market buzzed, a stark contrast to the turmoil within Maya. She had returned to her guise as the old woman, the weight of the impending threat, a leaden cloak upon her shoulders. The whispers had turned to fear, the air thick with suspicion. The old woman's warning echoed in Maya's mind, a plot to burn the market, to steal away their livelihood under a veil of chaos. Maya moved through the crowd, her senses alert. She felt the heat of watchful eyes, the prickle of fear on her own skin. Even in her assumed frailty, she was a beacon, a focal point. The knowledge of her true nature, of her power, felt like a dangerous secret, a truth yearning to break free. Doubts gnawed at her. Could she reveal herself? Risk the fear and rejection that might follow? Could she trust these people, these strangers, with the truth of her being? Raphael's words whispered in the recesses of her heart, embrace all aspects of yourself, but could they embrace the truth of her, the shapeshifter in their midst? The first lick of flame erupted from a stall near the center of the market. a tongue of orange greed devouring the dried palm leaves of a vendor's awning. Screams ripped through the air, the crowd surging back in a wave of terror. The scent of smoke, acrid and sharp, replaced the sweet perfume of ripening fruit. Maya felt a surge of desperate courage. There was no more time for doubt, no more room for fear. This was her moment, her chance to choose who she truly wanted to be. She would not stand idly by and watch innocence burn. With a deep breath, Maya allowed her form to melt away, the familiar sensation of transformation washing over her. The old woman's shawl slipped from her shoulders, pooling at her feet as her body stretched, muscles coiling beneath her skin. She was no longer frail, no longer hidden. She was power, she was instinct, she was the protector rising from the ashes. The crowd gasped, a collective intake of breath as Maya, the warrior, emerged from the chaos. Her leather armor seemed to shimmer in the firelight, her gaze fierce and unwavering as she faced the flames. She moved with a speed that defied human limitations, a whirlwind of strength and grace. She tackled the blaze, her hands moving faster than the eye could follow. Water, drawn from nearby barrels, arced through the air, each drop a weapon against the encroaching inferno. She directed the fleeing crowd, her voice ringing out above the panicked screams, her presence a beacon of hope in the heart of the inferno. Fear still lingered in the eyes of those she protected, but it was mingled with something else now, awe, gratitude, the realization that the woman they had known, the old woman who had walked among them, was so much more than she seemed. The mask had fallen, revealing the hero beneath. As the last embers of the fire died, leaving behind a trail of charred wood and the bitter tang of smoke, Maya felt a wave of exhaustion wash over her. Her body ached, her muscles screamed for rest, but it was a good kind of tired, the exhaustion that comes from pushing beyond one's limits, from embracing one's true nature. She stood amidst the wreckage, the crowd parting before her as if in reverence. Their gazes, once filled with fear and suspicion, now held a newfound respect, a hesitant acceptance. They had seen her at her most vulnerable, her most powerful, and they had not turned away. A small hand slipped into hers. A young girl, her eyes wide with wonder, gazed up at Maya. "Thank you," she whispered, her voice trembling with emotion. "You saved us." And in that moment, surrounded by the warmth of their gratitude, Maya knew she had found what she had been searching for all along. Acceptance, belonging, a place to call home, not in spite of her shape-shifting ability, but because of it. The sky blazed with the colors of 1,000 sunsets, each hue a memory, a possibility. Maya, her warrior form fading back into the familiar comfort of her own skin, watched from the shore as the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the Caribbean Sea in shades of fiery orange and molten gold. The air, still thick with the scent of smoke and the memory of fear, held a new kind of energy, a palpable sense of relief and gratitude. The marketplace, though scarred by the flames, thrummed with a resilient energy. Vendors, their faces etched with exhaustion and determination, helped each other salvage what remained of their wares, their shared loss forging a bond stronger than any fire could destroy. Children, their laughter a testament to the enduring spirit of hope, danced among the ruins, their tiny hands collecting charred pieces of wood, as if they were precious treasures. Maya felt a weight lift from her shoulders, a burden she hadn't even realized she'd been carrying for so long. The need to hide, to pretend, to be anything other than who she truly was, had vanished in the crucible of the fire. She had embraced her power, her true nature, and in doing so she had found a place for herself within the heart of this vibrant community. She knelt by the water's edge, her reflection gazing back at her, a shimmering mirage in the fading light. Was this her true form, she wondered, or just another mask, another layer in the ever-shifting tapestry of her being? The question, once a source of anxiety and doubt, now held a strange kind of peace. She was all of it and none of it. The hummingbird soaring high above the world, drinking in the beauty of the moment. The wise old woman, her heart heavy with the stories of her people. The fierce warrior, her spirit ablaze with the fire of protection. Each form, each transformation had brought her closer to this moment, to this understanding. She was Maya, the shapeshifter, and that was enough. She no longer sought to define herself by the boundaries of form, but rather by the boundless potential that resided within her heart. She was a vessel of change, a conduit of magic, a living embodiment of the island's vibrant, ever-evolving spirit. As the first stars began to appear in the darkening sky, Maya felt a familiar presence beside her, Raphael. He stood silently, his gaze fixed on the horizon, his weathered face etched with a knowing smile. He had witnessed her transformation, her struggle, her triumph, and his silence spoke volumes. "You have found your rhythm, Maya," he said. Finally, his voice a low rumble that seemed to echo the heartbeat of the island itself. The dance between worlds is not about seeking a final destination, but about embracing the journey, the constant ebb and flow of transformation. Maya nodded, his words resonating deep within her soul. She had spent so long searching for a place to belong, a fixed point in a world of constant change. But true belonging, she realized, came not from finding a place to settle, but from embracing the fluidity of existence, the ever-shifting currents of life. She rose to her feet, her body tingling with a renewed sense of purpose. The world was a canvas, and she was the artist, her shape-shifting ability the brush with which she would paint her own unique masterpiece. She would use her gift to protect, to inspire, to remind others of the magic that resided within them all. She turned to Raphael, her heart overflowing with gratitude. "Thank you," she whispered, her voice thick with emotion, "for showing me the way, for reminding me of who I truly am." Raphael smiled back, his eyes twinkling with an ancient wisdom. "The journey is yours to shape, Maya," he said softly. "Go now and let your dance continue." And so, with a heart full of hope and a spirit alight with the magic of the island, Maya turned towards the horizon, ready to embrace the unknown, to dance to the rhythm of her own unique melody, her story forever entwined with the heart and soul of Jamaica. The shapeshifter's dance had just begun.